Alright, ladies and gents, Gacha Gaming here, back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about the new character Fexiao and obviously her comparison to Acheron, and whether I feel as a general free-to-play player that you should either invest in Fexiao or wait for the next rerun of Acheron to basically finish her off. Now, the essence of this video mostly revolves around the fact that I feel that there's a topic that's been talked about a lot around YouTube space about vertical and horizontal investment, and I feel that investing in a character has benefited me more than summoning for multiple characters for an account. And I say that because right now, from a free-to-play perspective, I have an E2 Firefly and I have an E4 Acheron. And this is one of the best investments I've ever done in my life. So basically, I started this account, I only have this obviously 2 damage dealers, and I ended up getting Ruin May in the same patch that I ended up getting Firefly. Now, I started this account a very long time ago, so Hua came out way before Acheron came out. So I started this account around this specific time, and I saved up a very big amount of jade. And then when I heard and I knew Acheron was coming out, I basically just, I saved up as much as I can, and she came out, and then I obviously managed to get her E4, and I have never regretted this specific pull session. And you know what, right after we had the now obviously Firefly banner after a few patches, and I ended up getting her E2, which basically is more so like a cheat code for the game, because realistically, here she doesn't consume skill points, and then here she obviously gets an extra turn after breaking a weakness for an enemy. So anyway, what we're going to be talking about specifically is obviously the Fexiao and Acheron discrepancy, I'd say. So majority of people, are saying that there's a very big difference between Fexiao and Acheron. Fexiao is basically the second character, or rather second, she's basically the second Acheron, as people would say, right? And what I'd say is primarily, yes, there is an essence of Fexiao being sort of duplicates to Acheron, her skills, especially her ultimate. It does obviously bring about the fact that she breaks an enemy's toughness bar and then deals one huge amount of burst damage to basically finish them off, and deal a crazy amount of damage, similar to what Acheron does, right? Now the question becomes, is she going to be better? Now obviously from her eidolons and stuff, I feel that similar to Acheron needed her E2 to really excel and get the most out of, buffing characters, because before is that she had this whole kit where you had to have 2 Nihility characters to be able to perform the best performance from Acheron. But then when you get her E2, it eliminates 1 Nihility character and then still keeps the same buff and same power boost, but then you can now include a buffer in the team of Acheron, which basically is just even better, because now you'll basically be buffing her on top of the debuffs that she gets on top of buffs that she inflicts on enemies. So now you have Fexiao, who basically now brings in this whole aspect of like complete, breakage of the enemy toughness bar upon 12 stacks of her ultimate. And the question becomes, at the end of the day, right, is her E0 going to be better than an E0 Acheron? I feel they are sort of in the same match in terms of E0, because even in E0 you need at least 2 attacks from respective characters and respective teammates to be able to fill up her gauge faster. But then when you get to her E2, every single attack, irrespective of being a follow-up attack or a general attack, will build up her ultimate gauge, which I think is very good. Now, obviously for her light cone, everybody knows there hasn't been any information about her general light cone, but as we all know, it's busted. Crit rate, crit damage, speed. We all know what's coming. Now, the most interesting thing, we know that there's an Acheron rerun that's going to be coming up. But now we actually have the idea that they're going to be able to be running 3 characters at the same time in probably, I don't know if it's just this phase 1 or it's going to be moving forward, but there is an off chance that even the next patch after this, there is going to be 3 characters basically going back to back, or rather, you know, you have your main character and then you have 3 past characters running and you can choose each one of them, which I think really works. Now the question becomes, should you summon for Fexiao or should you summon for Acheron, or rather should you invest more in Acheron and then summon, probably from a free-to-play perspective, by the way, should you summon more for Fexiao? My answer is, I feel if you are able to hold that, you know, dopamine rush to summon for this new attack type character, this new animation, then I feel that 100% I feel that you can really wait for her rerun, to be honest, because like I said, even when Acheron came out, there is going to be a character that matches her, who in this case was Firefly basically, but now we have another character who's basically doing what Acheron does at an ultimate level, but single target, really heavy damage. So at the end of the day, my honest opinion, if you watch my videos and you like my videos, I feel that you should wait, invest more, finish off with Acheron, see her investment, because I have been able to clear out majority of every bit of content with just 2 characters, especially MOC being one of the most complementary end game content that the game gives you, and I've been able to clear it completely with just 2 teams, this being 1 team with Firefly and 1 team with Acheron, my Firefly being at E2 and my Acheron being at E4. Now, is it good? Is it bad? I mean, I think it's good, because if I'm able to clear floor 12 with just these 2 teams, realistically, I think you can save up and be able to get a character who probably does more, or invest in that character to the maximum limit as a free-to-play player, because obviously as a whale, you're probably going to be able to get these characters either way. But as a free-to-play player, like I don't think investing in multiple characters sometimes is even more beneficial, because even I feel that times where you summon for a character, you get the E0 and you just don't feel as completed as usual. And I can tell you now, when I got my E2, or my E4 Acheron, I felt very completed. Now the plan is to be able for her, when she reruns, to get her E6. And 100%, I am, you know what, I'm okay with it. I want to get her E6, and when I get her E6, I think I'll keep the light cone at super imposition. You know what, I might actually even get the you know, S5, S4 light cone. I might just get it, because obviously the light cone is much easier to save up and actually get. So I think I'll fully invest and finish off with Acheron, and I'll be honest with you, I'll feel complete. And then my next character now probably will be the Firefly, because Firefly is actually really good as well. I love her, especially the fact that she hits really hard and she can go really fast. So yeah, that's my opinion. Should you summon for Fexiao? I mean, if you want to summon for the character, 100% you can go ahead. But at the end of the day, I feel that you know, Fexiao is just another list of characters who have come out, and you know, I mean, she looks really good, she does a lot of damage, but do you really need her? No. If you have a good damage dealer, invested damage dealer, then I don't think you need her. She's very good, she looks really good, she has a good kit, she has good animation, but at the end of the day, you know, we're looking into, does this unit really benefit you more than what you have, or more than what you're going to have in future? So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in the next one.